I'm going to start this video with a big disclaimer. Enso Yu is a concept artist for the Backrooms. He worked on the movie and he made the Gmod map that everyone uses. It has authentic assets straight from the series, and he's even adding onto it using props from the movie. So he's legit. The thing is, it's hard to tell what's canon and what's not. He's said himself that these artworks are non-canon, but he's also said that since the Backrooms is infinite, these could totally exist too. Kane has also said that Enso, as an artist, really gets the art direction of the project. So it's safe to say that this isn't fan art. And Enso is probably really well informed when it comes to how the Backrooms works and how it behaves. These two really let their art speak for themselves and aren't the type to correct people if they make an interpretation that doesn't line up with how they see things. But anyway, I thought we could look at Enso's Backrooms art and see if we can get any clues, or at the very least just give more attention to his work. Okay, so this is number 1. This is the first thing that he's made. He has a series of 52 artworks so far, and they're all really great. Like this one is crazy. It kind of looks like the playroom from Found Footage 3, and there's like a corpse or something in the middle with like blood trails and stuff leading out in like 2 directions. So what that tells me is that, I don't know, maybe it got eaten by 2 still lives or something. Someone got eaten, or somehow their flesh got separated from their body in 2 directions. I don't know what happened here, but I love it. I love how there's parts of the Backrooms that's like there's no lights, like that part where they found Peter Tench and where the furniture store is in Everything Must Go. It's just like not lit. But let's move on. This is number 2. There's one thing that I want to say, because when you look at this art, it looks incoherent because it's obviously a construction site, and then there's this like beach chair here, and it's like, what's that about? Why is there like a beach chair here? And there's like a wicker chair in the back there too. So I wanted to talk about this in my next Backrooms video, but I'm just gonna say right now that I have a theory that the way the Backrooms works, and I'm not gonna give the whole thing away right now, but there is evidence to show that perhaps the Backrooms works by mixing rooms together at some point. Like when it first remembers the room, it's pretty accurate, but as time goes on, it blends rooms together. And that's all I'm gonna say right now. And for here, this place looks like it's blended some kind of beach setting with a construction site, which is interesting. Number 3, apparently this is a reference to a child's show. I'm not too familiar with it because it's just, I think it's foreign. I'll put the name of it up there. But yeah, so here in the corner we can see like Chinese characters. I don't know what they are. If someone in the chat knows Chinese, let me know. There's someone who fell into the Backrooms here and they are recording on their camera. These are like Rube Goldberg machines, and I think that's what the kids show was about. It was about doing like experiments. Maybe it was a little bit like Zoom. I'll put some info on the screen. This one, number 4, I really like it. I love it. It's like the Red City, but it's not a city. It's just a bunch of connecting highways. And the giant signs. I love the giant signs. There's one that's the size of a giant billboard there in the back. There's a bunch of trees on these walkways, on these roads. Someone's just stuck there in the foreground. They're looking out and they're like, I am not in the real world anymore. I'm in some weird fucked up place. And yeah, you are. You're in the Backrooms, buddy. Number 5 is very interesting to me because this is found footage 3. This is like exactly like found footage 3. Because it has these little, I don't know what these are. There's like tiny little holes in the wall. You see these a lot in found footage 3. I don't know if they're really small hallways or if they're vents that got misremembered. I have no idea what they are, but I just find this imagery so intriguing because you have the clothes on the ground, like in found footage 3. You have shoes that are just standing up for no reason. And you have the blood trails leading into these like vent hallway things. And it's like, what is that? What is that? I want to know so bad. And then you have the, here on the wall, you have the speaker systems that play music for the still lives. I don't know if it's for the still lives, but they seem to be attracted to it. But yeah, I like this little, it's like a chunk of a baseball diamond. It's not like a full one. And then there's like a sign in there. This might have been part of like an elementary maybe or something like that. But yeah, it's really awesome. Another cool room. It kind of it does remind me of found footage 3, and perhaps all this art was made around that time, because I mean, I can look at the dates and I can confirm it while I'm editing, but all of this is very reminiscent of found footage 3. I will say though that Enzo said that he had no input in found footage 3. And a lot of people are taking that claim on the subreddit, and they're saying that like his model of still dad or wall dad, whatever you want to call him, the still life from found footage 3, Enzo made a model of it. And everyone on the subreddit is like, no, it's not canon. It's not canon. All Enzo said was that I had no input in found footage 3. He did not say Kane never shared the model of the still life from found footage 3. He did not say that. And again, another point to this is that on the description of the still life models on the Steam page, he makes a distinction that one of the still lives on there is not canon. And he's like, this bald still life that I made is my creation. But the wall dad still life, he does not make that distinction. So I'm leaning towards the wall dad still life that Enzo made is canon. But that's just me personally. Yeah, there's like blood prints on this on the ceiling here. How did they get up there? What was going on? I mean, I guess it could have been like a life form, like pick someone up and drag them around. This is number 7. We have what looks a lot like the red neighborhood or the red city, but like some kind of corner close to the wall. And I like that you can see these doors that are just on the wall. So if you were like running away from something and you open the wrong door, you'd fall straight down into the red city park here and break something or probably die. I'm sure there's been plenty of people who have done that. I mean, this door is open, so I mean, that could be just like environmental storytelling right there. But yeah, I really like this. The way this looks, it looks like a back door. There's like a way to walk down, but there's no trail there. So like, if anyone's done that, there's no trail. You know, I don't know, it just looks cool. It looks like there should be a path there, is what I'm trying to say. Number 8. This one is very interesting to me because there's a Ring camera there. So I'm not saying this is canon, but I'm not saying that it's canon. What I'm saying is, if this was canon, this would be the most modern depiction of the Backrooms because of the Ring camera and this fucking weird ass Diagon Alley environment. It looks a lot like when I went to the Harry Potter. If you guys have been to the Harry Potter park in Universal Studios, there's an area that looks a lot like this. And it's like a Diagon Alley thing. You have to like find it. It's hidden. But anyway, that's not what... There's a lot of bottles here, by the way. There's a lot of... Is this all wine? Or are these Coke? What is that? What's this thing back here? It looks like it's either a giant it could be a giant bottle. What the hell? There's a giant bottle just like hiding in the corner there. Anyway, number 9. This is how I found out about Enzo's art. Someone posted this picture on the subreddit, on the Kane Pixels Backrooms subreddit, and I just saw this photo and I was like taken away because if you look at the frame, this is a sink, right? This is a sink, and normally when you look outside the sink window, you get a nice view of the outside. I mean, while you're washing the dishes, right? But what's so strange is that if you're washing the dishes in your like still life house, you look out and then there's your dining room. Like usually that's like behind you, you know? It's just weird. And I like that these blue flowers are something that show up a lot in Enzo's art. I like that that's his little touch on these. And you get another one of these hallways with, it's like a vent hallway. Initially, I thought this was like blood coming out again, but it looks to be a power cord. Anyway, another good look at the Red City, number 10. But this is not our Red City in California. If you look up at this sign, it says Queens. So this is a New York Red City. And look at this car. It looks hilarious. It's like a Siamese upside down car. And yeah, there's this person who's stuck here, sadly. He's just looking out. I mean, I feel like getting stuck in the Red City must be so existential, because like you just look at all of this shit that's here and you're like, I am never getting home, am I? So yeah, this is, if there is a Queens section of the Backrooms, it looks like this, according to Enzo. It's really awesome. I love it so much. Number 11. This is a weird one. This is a weird one. It's kind of like a church. Yeah, it seems to be a church or a chapel of some kind. But then you see this like wheel here. And this is obviously, when you see that wheel, you think of the movie, because that wheel was showing up a lot. So is this a Kelowna branch area somewhere? I mean, it has the arched doorways. It's just really cool. It looks like a little cave. It looks like a Dark Souls 2 area, maybe. I forgot what that place was called, where they had like the underground town or whatever. Seldora, maybe? I don't remember. But yeah, this is really cool. Not much to say, I guess, for this one, because it's very dark and hard to see. This one's interesting. It has growth. It has growths. And one thing that I guess I want to talk about right now, now that I see this, what is up with the the life form in found footage 2, because that life form looks a lot like it has leaves. It looks like a plant. It doesn't look like the other life form. That one looks organic as fuck, like it developed like chlorophyll in its genetics or something. Yeah, not much to say about this one. I don't know what this thing is here in the middle. I can't really get a good look at it. It looks like, I don't know. I really can't tell. Some kind of doohickey for sure. This seems to be someone's house that got misremembered. There's like an apron on the ground. There's some oven mitts, a piano with the seat on the top of it. Is this like a Papasan chair? What is that? It looks like it. I really want to know what the fuck this thing in the middle is. What is that? Maybe a phone? I don't know. Let's go on. Okay, this one, number 13. This is very, very intriguing. Very intriguing. If you look at, I mean, the grandfather clocks are ongoing motif in the canon. There's one in the movie. There's a few in the series. And then if you look at this thing in the back, this is the cottage from Informational Video, I believe, is the one where Peter Tench got disappeared. And then he went into this room that's totally black, but it has like wallpaper of forest. And then there's an axe in there, and there's wheelbarrows. And then there's a picture on the wall that is just of a cottage. And it's a flat, like, picture that's blown up to the size of the wall, and it's one of the most mysterious things in the whole series, because it's like, what the fuck was that? We never see anything like that again, but here it is. The concept artist has made something with it. I mean, I'm sure he knows. He has to know something. But if you look at this chair over here, it's like warped. It's like it's getting pulled. It's like getting stretched. And so is this clock that's on the wall. This one's getting stretched too. So it's like, what happened here? What is stretching these things? There's one here, here in the corner. And this clock here too. This is like a shelf clock, and this is getting like weirdly slumped. This is so curious. Number 14, bunch of porta potties. Imagine looking out your window and seeing like 50 porta potties out there. This isn't really Backrooms related, but I've been running at the, well, not running. I walk. I walk for my cardio. I walk a lot. I walk like for an hour and a half. Maybe for some of you that's not a lot, but to me that's a lot. And so they're doing like construction at the park, and I have to walk by like quite a few porta potties, and they always smell terribly. So it'd be so funny if you like are in this area in the Backrooms, and the complex like just made everything in the porta potty like accurately, and it just smells terrible. If we look in the back here, this seems to be like a hill, which is really cool. You don't see that it's like a hill or a mountain. It'd be crazy if it was a mountain. It looks more like a hill, but I could see it being a mountain. But I would love to see an area like this in the series where there's just a big hill in the, like a big hill. Not like the one in Static Dead End. I mean like a big fucking hill with in a giant room like this. Yeah, this is real amazing. All the Red City stuff is just so amazing. I really hope we spend more time with that in the series, but I don't know. Like, it seems to be kind of a rare biome, so like, I don't know. I think I hope they don't just keep it to the red neighborhood, even though that's what it looks like it's staying at. But who knows? Maybe we'll get like a movie, and maybe Backrooms 2 will take spend more time in the red city, you know, in a red city, since there may be multiple. Number 15. This one's kind of funny. There's like little Lego. Someone made like a little Lego house here, and it just copied like 10 times across the ground. These two boxes also, there's one on the counter, there's one on the ground with a little basket of junk, maybe toys. This looks like a children's playroom. This could actually be the room that we were looking out the window of in the last photo. It looks very similar. Yeah, there's something reminiscent about, maybe this is like from Enzo's childhood, who knows? Not to psychoanalyze his art or whatever. But yeah, this is an area of the Backrooms that's like residential. And that's another one I would like to see more of, because the residential areas of the Backrooms they're really cool, because it just feels like a house that's been blown up to like very large proportions. Number 16. Apparently this is a character from Severance. This is like a reference to a character from Severance. I have not seen Severance yet. I am currently watching Mr. Robot, because Kane said that it was extremely influential on him. He's seen it like 8 times or whatever. So I'm watching that first, and I can tell you that there are a lot of similarities between Mr. Robot and the Backrooms. I would say stylistically, not lore-wise, not, you know, like if you watch Mr. Robot, it's not gonna unlock anything about the Backrooms lore. It's more like, oh, this is how Kane is constructing his story. It's that kind of informative. But yeah, let's look at the art. The doors, very much, we've seen those, found footage 3. I don't think this is the same area, but it's very similar. It's almost like this is like a level down or a level up. Unfortunately, this redheaded woman got lost down here. Everyone's gonna think it's Clark's wife, guys, because she has red hair. It must be Clark's wife. Every redheaded woman in the Backrooms is Clark's wife. And here on the painting, it's the girl with the pearl earring, very famous painting. But yeah, not much to say about this. This looks like a skylight, but it also looks like it could just be a weird crack in the wall and light is seeping through. Okay. This is the number one, like, just look at it. Just look at this. Look at this shit. Tell me this is not... Tell me this does not say something, you know? First of all, it looks like the little door in the throne room. Second of all, I don't know if this is in motion or not. I don't know if this is like nothing's moving or if something's happening. But if something's happening, that's like, all I'm gonna say is this picture says a lot. So we have this guy here. He's coming into the room. He has a camera on him. Or at least what I'm assuming is a camera. It's kind of like shaped weird. I think it's a camera. I'm gonna say it's a camera. But let's talk about what's going on over here. So the texture on the wall is stretched, and the if you look in here in this stretching area, there's instancing going on. This chair is getting instanced. These things are getting distorted. This furniture, this dresser here is getting very, very warped. There's something popping up. It looks like a clock of some kind, perhaps, is popping up from the bottom here. No, it looks like the top of a cabinet, maybe like a china cabinet. What's this thing? A briefcase? It looks like a briefcase with no face on it, or a TV. I don't know. But yeah, so this, what I think this is, and I'm not saying it's canon, but I'm not saying that it's not canon. I think what we're seeing here is how the backroom looks when it expands. So when it expands, I feel like space-time gets warped on one wall and the wall just pushes out. And I'm thinking that possibly the reason we see objects in the walls and stuff at certain points is because when this wall that is expanding pushes out, I think that there can be things in the way and they kind of get picked up by the wall that is expanding and it just gets stuck in there. And I think while it is expanding, I think it's semi like things can phase through it. And so maybe that's why Kane said that Madison died, who is the main character in Found Footage 2. I think that's why he said she died, because when it gets that green glow stuff, perhaps you cannot stand in the room because you'll fall into it, and then when it hardens into its new form, you get stuck in there. And so that's probably what killed her. But yeah, this is the work of art that made me want to make a video on this, because I think it just says so much. I think it gives a lot away, and if it is based on knowledge that he got from Kane, but he's the concept artist for the for the movie, so I just think he knows something. He knows something. But let's move on. Okay, one thing you're gonna hear me say in these is that like this looks interesting. They all look fucking interesting. They're all good. So this is like a still life area, I want to say. And why do I say that? Because if you look down here, there's a little still life guy, and he's tiny. He looks like a little he looks like that mouse from Cat Dog. He's just here collecting things. Apparently still lives like to collect things and block doors. There could be a bigger one nearby. But that's a pattern you see still lives do. They like to collect things. Pirate Clark collected a lot of clothes. The still life in Found Footage 3 collected those books and arranged them in like a little crop circle. And he also they like to block doors because it probably makes them feel safe. It's like a defense mechanism. And the still life in Found Footage 3, when Ravi goes into its den, you'll notice that it took all these like elementary school chairs and put them up against the door that's there. So yeah, this might be England, just judging from like the weird outlet. Sorry if you're from England. I didn't mean to call your outlets weird, but they're just not like American outlets. Yeah, this still life apparently likes candelabras and chandeliers. Very interesting. Number 19. Here we have another part of the Red City. This might be a red neighborhood. This might be, I don't know, part of a park that has like a little tunnel, kind of like Central Park. This thing here is not a fucking human. to put it in Marvin terms. Look at its head. Its head looks like a face that got split open down the middle and just like opened wide, or it has two heads. I don't know. All I can say for sure is that no one has a head like that. There's some kind of this looks like the Alamo or something. There's something in here, an Adobe building in this tunnel, and there's a giant sign on top here, a flood warning sign. And there's also some kind of building that you can't really make out here in the background. It looks like an official building of some kind. Yeah, I like this. I like the ambiance of this one. This poor still life here. He's just like, that's his life. He's just gonna stand there until something comes and bothers him. Another drawing I think indicates something is this number 20 here. So what we have here is not objects that were placed there. I mean, they could be, I guess, right? Like, there is, even in the movie, there's like rubble that was there, but it was never broken down. It was created as rubble. But I'm leaning towards this is not rubble. Because if you look at the windows, there's like glass here. It looks like all this stuff fell. And what did it fall out of? Up here, this thing up here, this area, it looks like a living room. You can see like the windows here. You can see the wallpaper. I think the floor, somehow, the floor expanded. The floor expanded and then it gave out from all the stuff in the living room. And the dimensions changed, so the windows popped out of their frames. And all of this stuff fell down here. That's the environmental storytelling I'm getting from this. And when I first saw this, I thought these things up here were lanterns or something, but they're not. They're you can see them clearly in the paintings that we looked at before. These are like water sprinklers. It's like a fire alarm system. But yeah, if this is canon, it's very interesting because this indicates that it's possible for the floor to give out from under you. And I guess we should know that by now because of pitfalls, but let's move on. There's 52 of these. We're on 21. Not much to say about this one, except that this person does not look like from modern times. He looks, I hesitate to say what era he's from. He looks like possibly medieval, possibly like, it's definitely before the 17th century. I'll say that. He has interesting headwear, interesting dress, and longer hair. He looks possibly like a peasant or something. And then here you have like a, I don't know, a Japanese schoolgirl outfit from Japan in like the 60s or something. This looks like that new Silent Hill game that came out not too long ago. There's like a knife going in the head here. But this is a scarecrow. So I'm wondering if this was inspired, or at least this little scarecrow thing was inspired by the new Silent Hill that came out not too long ago. I don't know what these things on the ground are. They look like broken pottery or something. It's hard to tell. All of this, by the way, was made in MS Paint, which is unbelievable. It's very it's like beautiful what you can do when you have talent, when you have artistic talent. Also, I should say that there is like mold on the walls. In some places in the backrooms, there is like a mold outbreak. And speaking of mold outbreak, on number 22 here, we have a life form nest, which looked to house a couple life forms here. And they're like stuck to the wall. Maybe they don't move until something comes and disturbs them. So creepy. 'Cause it's like, you know, something died here, right? Maybe two people died here, and then the bacteria kind of like strung up their parts or whatever, and they're making a life form here. And then when someone comes along and disturbs it, that's when it comes to life. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it just comes off on its own, but yeah, it's strange. Okay, this is I don't know if this is the red neighborhood or if this is a different red neighborhood, but there's a lot here. The storytelling on this is that if you look at this window, it took me a while to understand what I was looking at, But this is a window that has been broken, and there are curtains. There are curtains on the inside, and so light is peeking through. Something broke out, and it crashed into this fence here and knocked over this plant. And it probably is a life form, judging from the markings on the wall here. And yeah, there's not a lot more to say. I don't know if it knocked over this stop sign here or hit it or whatever, but it's just funny because a life form wouldn't know how to use a door. It would just crash through it. It crashed through the window here. And I love these houses. They look normal. They look almost normal. I mean, this one here, a house would never be built with these windows placed where they are and at that size. But this is one of the perspective on this, I must say, also is very, very well done. If you make art, you can appreciate perspective and stuff. This is one of the most impressive ones in the entire catalog here. Another life form den. Not much to say about this one, except it seems that someone was dying and dragged themselves across the floor here and then decided to pass on in this room, which then grew all this bacteria here. And it seems to have happened not that long ago. The blood's still red. It's not black like in the in found footage 2. Moving on. This one is the most interesting of the life form paintings to me, because this is obviously a person who's found themselves here, and they have the bad luck of stumbling onto a life form nest that has like 5 life forms in it. And where did they come from? If you look at this deer here, there's this deer, and they all seem to be made of deer, because this one next to the dead deer, its frame looks like a deer. It looks like a deer on 4 legs. And then the one over here right behind it also looks like a deer, but it's starting to get pulled up by the bacteria. And then these 2 on the side, on the left here, these are more complete. This one, obviously, where the light is shining, this one's ready to go. This one is like, who dares disturb my slumber? Very unfortunate for this guy. And also for these deer who a pack fell into the backrooms from the forest. Or maybe not even the forest, maybe from a street, who knows. Thailand Backrooms, number 26. This is Thailand Backrooms. This is a stop sign. I cannot tell if this is markings on the wall or scribbles, or if it's just like mold. But yeah, I think the big thing to say about this one is that there are backrooms in Southeast Asia, which, if you believe that there's backrooms in China, you are not surprised. And also there's this grid on the ceiling. I don't know what that is. If you're from Thailand and you happen to be into the backrooms, can you tell me if this is something from your country? Because initially I thought it was like some weird complex artifact, kind of like the Pitfalls area, that it just created like a grid in the ceiling or something. But no, it looks like it's like they're lights or something, like it's a grid for lights. Number 27, this is a life form with many arms, and it looks fucked up as hell. It's chasing you. It looks like when Pirate Clark is chasing Mary in that little hallway. I would not want to be in this situation. It's so scary. There's like a tiny office. There's like a miniature office chair on the ground. These are like Chinese ribbons or something. I'm not sure. There's something about this life form that is different from the rest. It looks almost like it's half a tree, like a pine tree or something. I don't know what else to say about that. More Red City. This is like ground floor Red City. And this looks like the area itself looks like a subway, but it's not underground. It got fused. It got combined with, I guess, a cafe above ground. And this guy here, he seems to be human. He's just looking out the window. He's got the Holden Caulfield hat on. He's just looking out, like, where am I? Oh, they're like, this writing on the sign here is Cyrillic. So this is like Russian. This is Russia, maybe. This is like a Ushanka hat. So Backrooms is international, guys. I'm not confirming it as canon, but a lot of these are taking place in other countries. Number 29. I like this one. This is someone who was very much into music. They have a lot of instruments in their house. I've known a few people who just have like a bunch of instruments in their house because they love music so much. And I'm always like, do you play all of these actually? Or do you just like, were you into the banjo at one point and then you gave it up and then you got into like the bassoon? There's a record player in the corner. There's a tiny, what looks to be a piano maybe down there next to it. That is not a ukulele. I think that's a guitar that's really small with like stuff hanging off of it. And here in the foreground, there's a weird guitar with the tiniest neck you've ever seen on a guitar. This is a still life of a guitar. This is not right. And this banjo too. I feel like the stand of the banjo is quite likely connected to the banjo to the point where it's like part of the banjo itself. And it's turned this window. This is obviously a hallway. It's turned this window into a hallway. I want to know. I want to get Enzo and Kane in a room and just have them explain to me how the Backrooms makes things. Cause they're very consistent in how they feel. Whenever I see Backrooms made by a fan or something, you can tell it's made by a fan. Like, not to offend you. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that like there's a certain design language that both Kane and Enzo have that makes it very congruent. Like they're very congruent in how they conceive the Backrooms to be creating things. Number 30 is the actual worst situation you could be in across all these artworks. This is a giant still life den. And in my last Backrooms video, I was like, what if a bunch of people died in the same place in the Backrooms? It seems like this area could be like that idea come to life. Because there's a bunch of these white things moving around in the picture. These seem to be flies. And it's like flies and their wings are reflecting the light from this guy here. So this place probably smells horrendous. It doesn't look like there's any life forms ready to go. They're still cooking in the oven here, but this guy needs to get out fast. He has no idea the danger that he's in. Number 31. I like this one a lot. Another really interesting perspective. These are walkways that are leading to skyscrapers in some sort of tropical climate, judging from the palm trees. This could be someplace like Mediterranean, maybe. I say that because these pointy plants here. This is not something you see a lot in the US. This is more like Italy, like like Middle East type area. Could this be Dubai? I don't know. There's no text anywhere showing, giving any indication. Not much going on in these windows. There's 3 little, what look to be stools here. A few plants. This guy, he seems to be a still life. The reason I say that is because he has a vibe to him. No, he like, what I've noticed is that the humans in these concept arts, they seem to be doing something. They seem to be looking around. They're looking out the windows. They're looking for a way out. And the still lives just stand there. They're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is where I belong. I'm gonna stand here for eternity. Because, like, I have no point. I'm furniture. What can I say about this painting here? Number 32. What can I say about this? I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I guess I'll start with, I think this is someone who is in the back rooms, who is crazy like Clark, and they happen to be an artist. I think that they came across these sun paintings. I don't think they made the sun paintings. I don't think that's what this art is trying to say. I think they came across the sun paintings and they liked it, and they actually, like, I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna paint my own sun paintings here. And so you can see that these 3 sun paintings here are they're the same, but there's some that don't look the same, but they also don't look like they were made by the complex. They look like someone else made them. I love that these paintings tell a little story. A lot of them tell, like, they put something in your brain. There's drama. I think that's what is called an art. When there's like a little story going on, there's drama. Yeah, not much else to say. This is a frame from that that's behind this big sun. I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but this frame is found in the painting with the sink. I don't know why it's here too. I don't know. It could just indicate that the spaces are near each other. Who knows? Number 33, we have the oldest human structure, the oldest human dwelling. We have a cave. Why? Why is there a fucking cave here? Why? It's right outside this sliding door. There's a wagon wheel here too from like the 1800s. This one confounds me because I had a whole theory going of like how the Backrooms works, and this cave painting just throws like a wrench in that. But I think there's an explanation. I'll just say that because my next Backroom, this is just like kind of like a filler Backrooms episode. I just thought it was interesting. I haven't seen many people talk about these artworks, but my next Backrooms video is gonna go deep. It's gonna go deep. I can't stop looking at this though. It reminds me a lot of The Oldest View when the protagonist tries to leave the mall and there's just like the stone thing in front of it. But yeah, let's move on. The Backrooms' tiniest living room. This guy, there's a human here who's looking into it. And then there's this, I don't know if it's Roman or Greek, but this object here is inexplicable in the sense that historians found this and they don't know what it is. They have no idea what the hell this thing is. It's from ancient Rome, and they have there's theories that like maybe that it was used in weaving somehow, like or knitting, like yarn, fabric maybe, that you would wrap yarn around these things, but I don't know what the hell this is. Like, I couldn't even begin to theorize what this could have been used for. It's probably one of those things that like I don't know, like you just had to have been there. You had to have been there to understand what this thing is. And then there's dice. Is this dice or are these mahjong tiles? I don't know. I'm not a mahjong player. I don't know what this thing under the dodecahedron thing is. This it looks like the top of a dojo or something. I'd be afraid to reach my hand through where this guy is looking at, though. I'd be afraid that there would be like something in here and it would bite me. Number 35, we have Light Yagami from Death Note. He got stuck in the Backrooms. And I have something to say about this photo, aside from the Death Note stuff. I think, and this is crazy. This is a crazy theory, but it ties into what we saw with the other interesting photo that I mentioned, where the Backrooms was expanding. I think this one, the Backrooms expanded downwards. I think this area where Light Yagami is, I think this is relatively new. I think this top floor was the original floor. I think it expanded downwards, and for some reason there was this I don't know, to me it looks like a cow, so we'll just call it a cow. I think there was a cow down here and the Backrooms expanded into it, and then there's this like instant scene going on, but also the cow got eviscerated, and to the point where it blew up. It blew up, and I thought this was a KFC chicken leg up here. This is a piece of cow that exploded and made its way up here. And there's just like viscera all over the place. It's weird. And I was looking at this round thing here. Am I crazy? This is a barbecue pit. I'm just seeing that right now. And this complicates things. I'm processing this like in the moment. This is a barbecue pit. Something was in the barbecue pit and it was cooking, and then it blew up, and then some parts of it turned back into a cow. Is that what I'm looking at? I don't know. Now I'm not too sure, because some of this is like viscera and some of this is like processed meat. So strange. And a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to tie it back to Clark keeping Kat's head. And they're going to say, well, maybe Clark, and if you don't know, Kane explained in the director's commentary that Clark kept Kat's head in the refrigerator because he believed that perhaps the Backrooms had restorative properties, that maybe if he left her head in the Backrooms that somehow she would come back to life. I mean, maybe he wasn't crazy, bro, because look at this. Like, these cow parts they're looking pretty alive to me. I mean, aside from the fact that they're disembodied. But yeah, I cannot spend all day on this one painting. So cool. This area is a found footage 3-like area. The lake house from found footage 3. Waldad's house. This is another thing that I am so interested in, because sometimes the Backrooms, instead of making the yellow walls, it makes like a skybox, like a PS1 skybox for the environment. And I just want to know, like what is it, like what's the decision process here for that? Why is it sometimes the yellow walls and why is it sometimes the skybox is what I'm going to call it. And there's standees here, cardboard cutouts. I don't know if they're cavemen or not. It's not really clear. On the roof there is an antenna, much like the found footage 3 house. I'll be speaking more on that in a future episode. This thing here in the middle, it looks like it's closed. But again, a little blood trail leading to this tiny crawl space here. Why? Why do they, like, in these environments, they... Like, why the clothes? Why do they leave the clothes there? And then there's always a blood trail leading to some fucked up little vent or something. That needs to get explained. 100%. This is, I don't know for sure if this is actually, I'm pretty sure it's the red neighborhood from Pitfalls. But I thought he came out of like a circular tunnel. Maybe not. Maybe that was the other side. Not much to say about this. We've all seen the video with Marvin's friend. This location is a parking garage that is you cannot park anything on here. This is the most fucked up parking garage you've ever seen in your life. There's a still life here, and I say he's a still life because there's something sticking out of his head. I don't know if it's a table leg or an arm. It looks very stiff. He's just wandering around the top of this parking garage. And this parking garage, it looks like you cannot get down to the second level. It's like totally enclosed. And up here, there is a cardboard cutout, what looks to be. I love these big areas. These huge, huge areas. I want to see more of it. I'm done with the hallways. I'm done with, like, the rooms. Give me more of these big areas, please, Kane. Please. Number 39. Another skybox. At first, I thought this was a dog. And then, if you look down at its feet, it has, like, the army soldiers from Toy Story, like a little platform. So this is not a dog. This thing is not a fucking dog. This is a lawn ornament of some kind. And then here is I don't know what this is. It looks familiar, but can someone in the audience tell me what this thing next to the dog is? Because it looks familiar. I just don't know what it is. I also don't know what all this other crap on the ground is. I'm not even going to try to guess because it doesn't look like anything to me. It looks weird. It looks like the further back you look, you can kind of tell what it is. But then when you zoom in, it's just noise. And that's what happens when you paint in MS Paint. Not that you couldn't get detail out of that. You definitely could. This is like sort of impressionistic, which is to say that it's like not blurry, but like it's an impression of what you're looking at. Like if you squint, you can see it. That's the best way to describe impressionism. This guy, he has 500 satellites on his house. He gets 1 million channels, anything you could think of, and there's nothing to watch. He also has a regular antenna on his house, not just a satellite antenna. So he gets local channels too, in case he needs it. And when it comes to the architecture of this building, I'm not sure if this is normal. Like the picket fence archway here, this like, is it an awning? I don't know. I don't know what the term is. I'm not a fucking architect, but is this normal? I feel like my grandpa kind of had something like this, but it didn't look like a picket fence. And then this doorway with like the side windows here that lead to like normally you'd see these lead to a wall maybe, but these are sticking out. It looks kind of weird. I don't know if this is normal. But yeah, you could tell this was like a cloudy, overcast day. It's very moody. These are my favorite kind of days. And I'm saying that because I live in fucking Texas where it's hot all the time. I love a cloudy day. Number 40, we're almost done here. Remember, there's only 52. This is another skybox area. But this one is a corn farmer's area. And he definitely has a fucked up, weird house that has its frame sticking out. Or maybe this is like a enlarged window in front of another window. I don't know. There's clothes. Again, there's clothes that are... I mean, at least there's shoes. Yeah, there's a shirt here. right in front. I don't see any blood trails this time. There's some kind of basket or a crib in front here. So wind power is a thing in the Backrooms, guys. Just in case you didn't know, there's wind turbines up here. And this is more like a sunset time period. This is like a sunset setting. And the corn, I want to know if the corn, like, can you husk that? Can you husk that corn and this Nebraska corn and cook it? It looks edible. This one here in the foreground looks edible. I mean, if you got lucky and you just like, you couldn't find food in the back rooms, maybe like you could live here for a while. If something doesn't crawl out of that vent and grab you and take your clothes off and like drags you to the vent. The perspective on this is crazy, number 41, because this orientation is actually lined up with this window here. And you can tell that because this human here is climbing up this furniture, this couch. You can tell that the chair is stuck to the wall and stuck to the couch because she's able to support her weight on it. She's pulling herself up. There's a picture frame down here that indicates where the gravity is. This fell down. It's lined up with the gravity. This picture frame is hanging. Again, it's being pulled by the gravity down here. And so it seems like this backroom house got made crooked. It's within some kind of red environment. This red biome here. And this table is upside down. These chairs are stuck to the table. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. This is just kind of like an action shot. I don't know if she's running from something. I don't know if she's just exploring. I don't know if it's a she. I think it's a she. Let's move on. Possibly a still life den. This toilet has 3 seats. There's one in the back. There's 2 where a seat should be. Good luck sitting on this because it looks like the seat on top here is at an angle. It looks like you won't be able to sit on this unless you break it. There's toothbrushes here arranged in a spiral, much like the books in the Found Footage 3 Still Life Den. I don't know why. I couldn't even come up with a reason why Still Lives seem to arrange their knickknacks and stuff. They tend to collect an item and then they arrange it. Maybe it's their form of art. Maybe like that's how they find meaning, you know? Maybe that's how they process their emotions. I'm not too sure. I don't know. So this is someone's bathroom, but the door that would normally go to maybe a shower goes out into like a really creepy hallway that's a tunnel that's much like the one from the movie that led into Pirate Clark's house. This is really awesome. I really like this. It's like the right amount of creepy, the right amount of something's not right, the right amount of storytelling. This is one of the more excellent. I mean, they're all excellent. All of the artworks, every single one is excellent. It's just that some have more interpretive value, I guess you could say, than others do. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, this one. I don't know what to say about this one except the number 3. This is number 43, and there's a lot of 3s. There's 3 tables here with 3 clone. There's 4 clones of 3 plates. I don't know how to say that. There's 4 plates that have been cloned 3 times. This the blue Enso flowers here got cloned 3 times. The table's cloned 3 times. The legs are cloned 3 times. The spatula here in the foreground is cloned 3 times. The overhead lights are cloned 3 times. The windows are 3. The door back here is 3. The handles on these cabinets, there's 3 of them. The overhead lights, 3. Something happened in this area of the backrooms. I am calling it the 3 biome. The triple biome. Something is stuttering here and there's like these fucked up these triplets. There's 3 towels on the wall here. There's 3 light switches. Let's move on. Okay, number 44. I don't know what to make of this thing. At first, I thought it was like a toilet that got stretched and it's upside down. And then I was like, maybe it's a bathtub. And now I'm leaning more towards like, this is probably like a construction steel bar that they make skyscrapers out of. And then it got confused and turned into it thought it was a pipe also. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know what the hell this thing is. This might not even be a restroom here. Because it looks like a closet, but then it's tiled like a restroom. And then there's a radiator in here. And then there's like a centerpiece vase here. And then there's a clock up here. And one thing that is also said that like whenever you see a clock in the Backrooms, it's always at 7:15. Because that's Ivan Beck's birthday or something like that. I don't know if that's like the real reason. But yeah, 7:15 is the number for the clocks that you will always see. Speaking of clocks, this is a still life den where the guy loved clocks. The still life loved his clocks. Look at all the, like, imagine being here at 6 a.m. and all of these go off at the same time. It probably doesn't bother the still life. But yeah, this room has all the hallmarks of a modern Backrooms environment. This coat rack is stuck in the wall here on the left. There's a little vent hallway. There's a really thin hallway that you could barely squeeze through if you tried. I don't know how this guy got in here. He probably came out through the hallway and then he stumbled across this and is like, what the fuck? He's probably gonna get dragged through this vent or whatever the still lives do. But yeah, that's interesting perspective also, I'll say, because this is like a very wide angle in the corner. You could tell this room's really small, but because of how the angle is portrayed, it looks very wide. This number 46 gives me Salvatore Dali vibes. This one is very, very beautiful to me. And it has these skylights that we saw in Found Footage 3. A lot of people theorize that those skylights come from MRI rooms because some of them do have like literal skylights on them. There's clothes on the ground. There's blood again. There's blood again. Someone got dragged away. Who is dragging all these people into corners? And this is like a rotated room. And a rotated room, this is not the official like term for it, but there are these rooms that are kind of rotated on their sides. And it's possible that that's maybe how the Backrooms copies itself. Like it kind of rotates around at certain points to copy itself. I don't know. We saw one rotated room. I mean, I'm sure there was more. And we saw like weird conjoined in mid-rotation rooms at the end of the movie also. But yeah, Pirate Clark's Den has a rotational room in it. This is an example of that. Yeah, it's very dreamlike, which all great backroom environments are. Here on number 47, we have either the girl from Control, the lady from Control, or Makima from Chainsaw Man. They're stuck in the Backrooms, and this, like I was saying earlier, it seems like what happens is that the wall expands and then it drags stuff along with it, and it possibly makes copies along the way. And then it solidifies. And maybe that's how these copies get made. But it doesn't explain why there's like multiple copies in like one area and they're not like lined up. Because like if you look here, like this car got copied too somehow. But yeah. One of the cooler areas that's like a big fucking area. This is what I like to see. This is giving, number 48 is giving Kelowna Branch vibes to me. Each of these houses looks like you could go in there. There's no way to get to this one here unless you have a ladder, the original one. I say it looks like Kelowna branch because it has this balcony, but it really could be anywhere, I guess. I just like the what's called instancing, as we learn from Everything Must Go. These things are instanced. And there's this person here who's just kind of like admiring the view. Possibly a woman. They look like they have a bob with like looser clothing, casual clothing. Maybe this is like a blouse and just like loose, not dress pants, but like business casual pants. I don't know. Let's move on. Number 49. It's a Christmas room. There's Christmas trees everywhere. There's a Santa statue / possibly still life coming out of the ground. This little I just saw this right now, but there's this little Christmas tree from Charlie Brown here in the middle. That's really funny. Charlie Brown Christmas is crazy. Yeah, there's a Christmas room. It's not drenched in red. It's just kind of like a Christmas room. And you would imagine that there would be like more of these Christmas rooms because, I mean, everyone celebrates Christmas once a year. So there should be a lot of them around, statistically speaking. Yeah, not much else to say about this. There are a few of these here are like Christmas tree stands without the branches attached, which is interesting to say the least. Number 50, async researchers, again in Russia, judging from the street sign here. And this is some sort of apartment complex. This is I forgot what they're called in Russia, but Russia does have a lot of these projects where they have these very blocky residential areas, and it seems that the Backrooms is making copies of that too. And here we have these async researchers just kind of like fucking around. Their supervisor carrying the briefcase. I think this guy on the right may be filming. Let's move on. This is definitely Southeast Asia. I couldn't tell you if this is like Indonesia or Thailand. Perhaps it's India. I'm not sure. To me, it's giving Southeast Asia. More async researchers. Somehow they found their way on the other side of the world. Or maybe just async has become an international company by this point. Maybe we don't see the end of async where we think we do. And the last one, number 52, we have one async researcher coming into a kitchen area that I love the detail on this painting here. It's coming into a fully tiled kitchen area. The Backrooms doesn't understand that you don't put tiles on the ground, that the same tiles that you use on the wall, or that these tiles are really just for like the cooking area. These are all around, on the ceiling even. There's a refrigerator stuffed into the pantry here. And yeah, it looks like it's falling apart. There's a sink in the ground. Not much to say about this, but I do like the detail. And I like the exposed, like, the damage that's... Maybe it's not even damage. Maybe it's just, like... That's just the way it was wired. But anyway, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed the look at Enzo Yu's art. Please go follow him. Please stay on the lookout because he's obviously going to make more. This can't be it. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. And go check out Everything Must Go if you haven't seen it. See ya.